Hola amigos, Dr. Labrinicky. Today, I'm going to help you be successful on the AP Spanish Literature and Culture exam. So I'm going to do that by first explaining the format of the exam and information about the exam and questions that I typically get from students about the exam. So I've been teaching this course for many years, and I just want to share my information with everybody out there. And so this is the first part of an 8-part series, and in the different sections I'm going to break down the different sections of the test to help you understand it and practice and understand it so that you can be successful. All right, vamos a empezar. Okay, so first up, before we even sign up, we need to know a little bit of information about the exam. So first off, how much does it cost? Well, the cost is $95. And so you may be thinking, oh man, I don't want to pay to take a test. I don't really even like to take tests. Well, it gives you the opportunity to earn 3 college credits. So if you were to buy these college credits at a university, they might cost $400 a credit. So this could be about a $1,000 or a $1,200 value. Another way to think of it is when you go to the university, you're going to have to buy your own textbook, and that could easily cost more than $100. So for less than the price of the textbook, which is probably being loaned to you by your school, you can earn 3 college credits and then also free up time when you go to the university and maybe even graduate a little bit earlier. So the test is going to take about 4 hours, and that seems like it could be excessive, but you're being evaluated on your reading, listening, and information on Spanish literature along with cultural elements incorporated, so it could take about 4 hours to do that. So the exam is in May. There's a 2-week time period when the College Board administers all their AP exams, and they either start at 8 a.m. or noon. And down below in the description, I'm going to put a link for the times when the AP exams are given this year. All right, up next, let's talk about what scores you might get. So the scores range from 0 to 5. If you got a 0, that means that you did really bad. And if you got a 5, that means that you did awesome. Typically, universities start accepting college credit with a score of 3 or higher, and typically scores of 2 or lower don't receive any college credit. But I'm going to put another link in the description below where you can click on it, pick out which exam you're taking, which university you want to go to, and it will tell you what requirements they like you to have before they start giving out college credit for the AP exam. Okay, so how is the exam broken down? There's 2 parts. The first part is a multiple choice, and then the second part is there's 4 essays of varying lengths, and we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about the multiple choice section of the test. So the first section makes up 50% of our exam score, and there's going to be 65 multiple choice questions, and you get 80 minutes to do it. So the first part is the interpretive listening. There's going to be 15 questions. There's going to be 3 short clips. They maybe range from a minute to 2 minutes. And 2 of the clips are going to be maybe like an interview of somebody who's an author, or it might be of somebody analyzing literature. And for those ones, you're only going to hear it 1 time. All right, the third one is going to be maybe a poem, and it might be a poem that's not on the list, and they will play that one for you 2 times. So my advice is that you take notes during this listening portion so you can refer back to what you heard. All right, the second part is reading analysis. What is reading analysis? They're going to give different excerpts of maybe things that you've read or maybe things from outside of the list, and they're going to ask you questions mostly on literary terms or maybe on different literary movements or time periods that you should have been studying. And so in lesson number 7, I'm going to provide you with vocabulary that's very important to know. And so that's kind of what that's quizzing you over, the reading analysis, and there's 50 multiple choice questions for that. And in upcoming videos, I'm going to explain a little bit better how you can practice listening and reading as well. Okay, then the second portion of the exam, which also makes up 50%, is the essay portion. So there's going to be 2 short essays, and there's going to be 2 longer essays. And so for the short answer essays, you get 15 minutes to write those, and the longer essays, you get 35 minutes to write each of those. And in upcoming videos, I'm going to break down each section to help you understand them a little bit better. Okay, so the text explanation, there's going to be a reading, and there's going to be some, you need to write about some theme, maybe a paragraph or 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, however much you think you can write in 15 minutes, probably be 1 to 3 paragraphs. And they're going to give you some theme that they want you to develop. And then also for this one, they want you to name the author and the time period in which this work is written. And so on the AP list, reading list, there's 38 authors or 38 items, and you need to memorize which author wrote which work, and then also know the corresponding time period. So that's the first short answer. The next one is the text and art comparison. So they're going to give you something that you've read on the list, and then they're going to give you a piece of art from the same time period or the same literary movement, and you need to make a connection. They're going to give you some theme, and they want you to make a connection. And generally, since you're able to see the piece of art, students generally do pretty well on this section because you can visually see what they're trying to portray in that art aspect. Okay, up next is the longer essay, the text analysis. They're going to give you a little bit longer work, and you're going to need to write a little bit longer on this according to some theme that they want you to develop. And then the last task that you need to do is the text comparison. This one, there's going to be 2 texts. One is going to be one that you've read from the list, and another one's going to be one that you have not read outside of the reading list, and you're going to have to compare and contrast them and find some common theme that connects them. And so hopefully that explains what you're going to be asked to do. And one question that I get is there a speaking portion? So this is how the literature exam is different than the Spanish language exam. There's no speaking portion on the literature exam. Okay, so this was lesson 1. In our next lessons, lesson 2, we're going to take a look at the interpretive listening and reading analysis, and I'm going to explain how you can practice that and explain them a little bit more in depth and give you some tips. Okay, lesson 3 is the short answer text explanation. Lesson 4 is the short answer text and art comparison. Lesson 5, essay text analysis. Lesson 6, essay text comparison. Lesson 7 is the vocab, so it's very important that you understand literary terms so you're able to describe it. And then the last lesson, I'm going to give you exam tips on how to be successful on the AP Spanish Literature and Culture exam. All right, gracias por mirar. This has been a presentation of Learning Spanish with Dr. L. Remember, if you click that subscribe button, you're going to get free access to all my videos. All right, buena suerte en el examen de AP. Ciao.